What's up, everybody? Jay here with Jay's Backyard Cooking. And today, we're firing up the Phoenix to make some barbacoa, beef cheeks. Let's get into it. All right, like I said, beef cheeks, barbacoa for breakfast. So what we have here is the beef cheek. I got it at Sam's. It is almost 4 pounds, like 3 3/4 pounds. Got it for $16.89. It's gonna be, should be a pretty easy cook. The hardest part I think is gonna be the prep. I am gonna smoke it for about 2 to 3 hours maybe. And then after that, I'm still undecided which way I'm gonna go, whether I use the Dutch oven, or if I throw it in the crock pot, or just bring it in here and throw it in the Dutch oven in the oven. So I'll still have some time to play around with that and figure out what I'm gonna do. But in the meantime, we're gonna get this trimmed up and get it prepped for the smoke. And technically, if you didn't wanna trim it up, you really don't have to. Some people prefer the fattiness of the beef cheek. I like it a little bit. Not a whole lot. I don't like my tortilla to get soggy once I put it on the tortilla with all the grease coming out. So I'm gonna trim off some of this fat, let's say most of this fat, and some of the silver skin that's on here. And again, not very much trimming, but I am trimming. See, like this big chunk right here, I don't want that in my tacos. So we're gonna cut this out. Just that thin layer right there of fat is what I'm okay with. Some of these loose flabs I'm gonna go ahead and take off just to minimize the chance of them burning. And then this is the silver skin that I'm telling you about. We'll get all these loose pieces of flesh off. And then this is the silver skin I'm talking about. It really shouldn't affect the taste too much. I just feel more comfortable taking it off than leaving it on. So, I mean, just get you a sharp knife, skim right under it, and then basically fillet it, just like if you were filleting a fish. Turn it back over on this side. I'm gonna get some of this corner off right here. That I want to leave some of it on, just not a lot of it. Just like that. That's what I'm looking for right there. I'm gonna get the rest of these trimmed up. I'm not gonna bore you through the whole video of trimming fat off of a beef cheek, but this is the end goal right here. This is what I'm looking for. We'll be back in a little bit. So for the ingredients, what we're gonna go with is salt, pepper, garlic powder, and a little bit of ground cumin. Be careful if you use the cumin because it can get very overpowering. I'm just gonna do it on one side, just a light dust, just to give it that little flavor. And garage beer. Wait, no, the garage beer is for me. Remember, stay hydrated. Yeah, your name.
Well, I don't know how you're staying hydrated.
What we're gonna do is lay out pretty slabs of meat here. I'm gonna start with the fat side up because I'm gonna put the cumin on the opposite side. I have really no reason why. I'm just doing it just how I wanna do it, which is basically what I tell you in all my videos or most of my videos. I'm just showing you how I do it. You use your own ingredients. If you don't like cumin, don't use cumin. I know some people like to put bay leaves and branches and all kinds of wild stuff in their dishes. So we don't care for all that stuff, so I don't use it. Gonna pat these dry a little bit. And then we're gonna go on with the salt. Pepper. Garlic powder. We'll get this pat down, flip it around. We're gonna go on first with the cumin. Again, just a light dust. I just want to be able to taste a hint of it. And then reverse the process. Garlic, pepper, salt. Garage beer. Remember, in that order. Then from here, we're going to transfer to the aluminum pan. We're going to let it sweat it out a little bit while we get the Phoenix started. All right, we got the PitBoss Phoenix up to temp. I'm just gonna lay these in there. I'm gonna do fat side up. Again, no reason why, just my preference right now. That is it. The only thing I can say is just my preference. All right, we're gonna let that go. I'm gonna say probably 3 hours just to get some good smoke penetration on it. And then from there, I'll decide what I'm gonna do with them. All right, the beef cheeks have been going on for right about 3 hours. So we're gonna get the next part of this done, which is basically just a white onion chopped into a couple of chunks. I'm not gonna use the whole thing. And I don't have anything else to use the onion on, so I'm probably gonna use about half of this onion. The rest of it is going into the trash. Just peel some of that outer backing off. Cut about half of it. A couple of chunks just like that. Toss them in there. And I know I said at the beginning of the video that I wasn't sure whether I was gonna use a Dutch oven or not. But then I remembered that I'm all about not doing dishes. With that being said, aluminum pan it is. Part 2 of the prep is just a half of an onion cut into chunks. And then the secret, pickled habanero garlic. We're gonna throw about a spoonful that comes out that looked like 7. I'm gonna roll with 7. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this outside. We're gonna get the cheeks. We're gonna lay them on top of the onion. Then we're gonna get some bone broth and fill it up about half of the pan. And then from there, we're gonna let it braise for about another 2 hours maybe. Then we'll check it and then we'll cover it and let it finish off that way. Okay, we're going on about an hour of the beef cheeks being in that bone broth that I put them in a little while ago. Let's get them checked real quick, then we're gonna get them covered and then we're gonna let them braise for another hour or 2. Get these flipped over real quick. You can tell some of this is already trying to fall apart on me. Look at that. Get that flipped over. I believe we are done. So 1 hour in the aluminum pan in the bone broth, uncovered, and then 1 hour covered. I think we're gonna be right where we wanna be. I've already turned off the Phoenix. We're gonna get this inside. Let me give you a close-up. Okay, here we are indoors. We got the comal going, the tortillas warming up. Let's see the finished product. You can see they have a real good color to them. We're not gonna use this juice anymore, so I have this other pan that I'm just gonna grab, and as I'm shredding it, just gonna throw it into the other one. See what the end result is. Look at this. Yes, indeed. This is what we were after. Right there. That is true barbacoa right there. at its finest. So I'm gonna get this finished shredded up. My wife is gonna take care of the tortillas. The table is set. All right, tortillas are done. Meat is shredded. It's time to eat. If you like what you saw here, please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button and comment. Anything helps. We'll see you next time. You know, life is a lot like smoking beef cheeks for some barbacoa tacos. It's messy, it's unpredictable, and sometimes you even find that the new PitBoss Phoenix leaks grease out of the sides of the dome onto the floor and the sides of the smoker, making a huge mess. Something I hadn't expected to happen. But if you stick with it, you just might discover a flavor you didn't know you needed in your life. So whether it's smoked barbacoa on a Saturday or just trying something new for the first time, don't be afraid to dive in. The best comfort foods, like the best moments in life, usually come with a little smoke, a cold beer, a little sweat, and maybe a concrete stain or two. With this being said, I'll crack open a fresh beer and keep stacking up these smoky wins in my backyard. So until next time, keep the grills hot and the seasoning simple.